I did what you did. After the movie, I went and bought the Best of Sam and Dave because
That's exactly what I
I
did.
saw that 8-track in the car. And
Yeah.
I said, well, I got to go check that out. And then it all led to years later, I got deep into stacks and all those things. And what can you tell me about the music? Because they may have got criticized at the time, but
Yeah.
those artists were actually glad to be there. And even afterwards, said, well, you say in your book about how James Brown was it or Ray Charles?
We owe
One
them,
of them,
man.
one of them said, yeah, we owe him, and
So I was, because in the current climate right now, if I wrote a book asserting that, oh, the Blues Brothers were great, blah blah blah, somebody would come out and say, hey, wait a second, this is
yeah,
like cultural appropriation, man. This is ridiculous. Well, the good thing for me as the writer is that that happened. They were
yeah,
accused of all stuff. In 1978, they were accused of being
yeah,
racist. They were accused of cultural appropriation. It's interesting that all of those sensibilities were very much at play. When the record came out, there was a whole bunch of withering criticism. What do these clowns think they're doing playing these black blues classics? And then when the film came out, it came all over again. Um, and so when the movie came out, because the book focuses more on the movie, it was like, how dare they bring in Aretha Franklin and James Brown and Ray Charles as like bit actors
yeah,
for this movie that stars these two white guys? And that's a very valid point. It was, I think, to the credit of John Landis and Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi, they brought in their heroes basically and just filled the screen with them at every opportunity, right? I think that's partly why they wore the glasses. They wanted to be in the background
yeah,
and watch Aretha do her thing. And yes, that was like, that's the reason I wrote the book, actually. When John Landis told me there was like the secret real mission from God was not the orphanage. The real mission from God was Aykroyd, Belushi, and Landis, and the whole gang wanted to raise the profile of some of their heroes. And that they did, because after the film, Belushi was so at the center of the zeitgeist at that time.
yeah,
If he said, go listen to the Dead Kennedys, a lot of people were going to go
yeah,
do that.
yeah,
So when he said, go listen to Aretha Franklin, go listen to James Brown, they started playing bigger venues. You can look on setlist.com and you can see they're playing bigger venues after the movie than before.
mhm,
And not all, but most of them were quoted in different, like Rolling Stone or People Magazine, very genuinely saying, hey, we owe these guys, they definitely helped us.